My boots are on, but I feel the bounce of bog come through the soles, the balls where toes hinge to bony feet. Lift stiffly, this footwear solid, but the ground moves with me, bends to my weight. Breathe in, hold, out, out, and out. The air huge and close, arms wrapped tight, made of trees, turf, leaves, sunlight. The bog is sliced. Slice after slice, blocks and stacks, bricks and sharp-cut channels karate chopped into the softness, which is our protection, our absorption. Fucking neighbour, where will all the rain go now? Breathe, in, hold, out, and what comes out is tears, panic. No, walk again, into the wind and ball of sun, don't think. Fingers damp, tasting mist, light, morsels of earth emanating from the surface. Striding along, bouncing, breathing, in, hold, out. Thoughts come leaking, stop them, in, hold. But worse appears, superimposed, nightmares on screen, or occasionally told quietly at the photocopier by a friend who worries she'll bury us under her unfathomable pain. So she whispers, and I watch her, watching her phone, to know if her mother, stubbornly returned to the rubble of home, still survives, or if her brother and his children have been shelled by tanks again, yet out. Bumbling along blind, but this is where I come, where no one is looking, and only the bog listens, in ancient, folded-armed patience. Wiping my face, looking down, there are explosions of green, vivid grass that looks more than grass, greener than grass, like sea anemone on a brown bed of skin, the skin of the bog being the same, cracked, patched, lined tautness as the back of my hand, the breath of the bog being the same breath we're taking turns. In, hold, fill up with time and space, out.
I'm about to walk out of the bar when a hand grabs my arm and spins me around. Standing in front of me is a swaggering butch, a buck through the forest, majestic and steady. I'm a deer in headlights, frozen and partially dead already. Sorry to keep you, she says, but you look so familiar. Do I know you? I want to fall to my knees, bury my head in her lap, tell her to please keep me, beg her to know me. But I do none of those things. Instead, I say, I don't know, do you? Would you, could you, will you? I want to plead. But I say none of those things. Instead, I smile weirdly, and she asks me to stay. We don't transmute our bodies at the bar, but we do exchange numbers. We meet again, we remain human, we eat, we go for walks. She shows me her art, I show her mine. We fall in love, but we see other people. I don't care about the other people, but I do become gradually and obsessively jealous of every object in her wake. The spoon, the doorknob, the bar stool, the front door to her house, anything with a switch. I become most jealous of her teeth, how they live in her mouth all day. But I say none of those things. Instead, I scramble the eggs, I make her a plate, I hand her a napkin and imagine it's my body. I stare feverishly at her keyboard, teething, green with envy. But I say none of these things.
Melody.
Instead, I do the laundry, I walk the dog, I see her working in the office and think about what I'd give to be the chair she's sitting in and the book she's writing at the same time. Bound, opened, molded, consumed, crafted, pressed, held and read by multiple organs at once.
Go round and round in circles, go looking for a honey drop. Till you vanish.
It's an impossible jealousy, a roadmap to madness. I know this, but she knows nothing. Instead, she continues to be sorry to keep me. She says it all the time. She's sorry to keep me when she's running late. She's sorry to keep me when she needs a favor. I'm so sorry to keep you, she whispers every time she thinks I want to be somewhere else, which I never do. What I do want every time is to fall to my knees, bury my head in her lap, tell her all this talk of keeping is all I've ever wanted, but it's also extremely wrong. Keep me like that rock you found at the river that lives safely in your pocket. Keep me like that box of birthday cards under your bed, like a voicemail from someone who's died, like a thrift store treasure, like a gift, like a tattoo, like sunlight, like a fact. Keep me like an arm or a leg or an otherwise critical appendage. But I say none of those things. Instead, I download my body to a USB drive and leave it on the table, right next to the coffee and the book and the pen and the spoon and the dog.
And in their aftertime, grown long ago children gather this tale of hers and make of her their own child life, remembering dream joys. Little sister, eager woman, pictured happy in a strange summer. Would she feel the same through other eyes? Would she keep herself the bright heart of pleasure, even with their many sorrows? Would her days and years and she and her loving be all little, all about a wonderland? Perhaps with the how and how and how of childhood, and with a riper how, she would find the all to her, herself, lastly.
Angled across an open suitcase, sidelong glance, earnest as always. You said you would not accept that fate, would not believe there was no hope. I followed your hands, gently folding a sweater, and wondered how you would live. how I would bear what I knew they would do. You sure? I asked, but I knew the answer. And I knew it was settled, your fate and mine. I imagined opening a final statement, searching the charges for any last clue. A cafe, alone, or perhaps with a lover, sharing a drink, planning a life. There would be no darkness, no suffering, no pain. You would make your own world. And maybe draw a line back to me, who set into motion all of this wonder, rocked you to sleep, kissed you goodnight, afraid of nothing, aware of no storm. The forces that took you, just seeds in the ground.
Magandang umaga, magandang gabi. If I was a dog, I'd be a mutt, a mixed breed, a mixed bag, a tail-wagging, face-licking Rubik's Cube, like if you crossed a pug, a poodle, and a three-legged Shih Tzu. Magandang umaga, magandang gabi. The recipe for my muttness would call for unequal parts Irish, Scottish, Spanish, German, Czech, and possibly Portuguese. All chopped, sliced, and diced, blended in a cosmic Cuisinart topped with 2 heaping mounds of second-generation Filipino, like purple scoops of ube ice cream in a bowl of homemade apple crumble. Magandang umaga, magandang gabi. How much, Filipino people ask, incredulous, cocking their heads in disbelief, this way and that, wagging a finger in my face as if catching me in a prevarication of my Pinoy pedigree. Magandang umaga, magandang gabi. If I was a science experiment, a lab rat in a maze, or a rhesus monkey in a cage, poked and prodded, pinched and punched, dissected and disemboweled, swirled in a centrifuge and spun into genetic goulash, burbling away in Pyrex beakers on a sterilized countertop cluttered with Bunsen burners, polypropylene petri dishes, and stereoscopic microscopes, I'd be 1.5 liters of German here, a pint of Czech there, and 3 more tablespoons of Spanish for the test tube in the back. I'd be divvied up like that until arriving at the ingredient in question. Magandang umaga, magandang gabi. 2 men in bleached white lab coats would linger over imprecise calculations, knowing from my papers that my father's paternal grandfather, a shopkeeper from Hamburg, hence my surname long since de-umlauted, a purveyor of military caps and patches, arms and ammunition, menswear and sporting goods, conjoined in holy interracial matrimony with a flower of the archipelago, a Filipina most fair. Magandang umaga, magandang gabi. This all occurred in Manila, on or around Escolta Street, the Wall Street of Asia, the Queen of Streets, where my grandparents courted and where my father was reared until age 11, when the imperial occupation forced the family to flee from the city to the jungle near the muddy Marikina. my young dad's pet pig, stuffed with lemongrass, slow roasted in a charcoal pit, its inflated bladder presented to the teary-eyed boy as a blood-red balloon, a token of forgiveness. Magandang umaga, magandang gabi. Lolo and Lola, with 3 tykes in tow, soon waved goodbye to 7,641 islands, securing passage to San Francisco aboard the SS Monterey, while dancing linguistically between English, Spanish, and Tagalog. Magandang umaga, magandang gabi. A language I never learned, always within earshot.
Fue una imagen que capturó mi atención. En sus ojos había nostalgia de las vidas que vivió y las que dejó escapar. Había amor el cual entregó incondicionalmente. Había sabiduría de esa que solo la vida te enseña. Había pureza la cual nunca perdió. Había 1000 detalles inexplicables. Ella estaba rodeada de seres juguetones con sueños. Los llamaba pequeñas alegrías. Ansiosos de escuchar las historias que la hicieron vibrar y aquellos sueños que le hicieron luchar, aquellas historias que la hicieron morir. Ella era una rosa de noble corazón, como toda rosa bella y silvestre.
Sjoch. Your arm, toes, ankles, calves, knee deep at the foot of the wee waterfall, bent at hips, fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, numb, guddling for dinner, for the salmon ladder and the tummel at Pitlochry. Might be more accurate saying I was a gamekeeper turned poacher. But where are you to proselytise? about where their own beauties leaping into my horns belong to. A couple of days ago, they were free, as me, keen to make it home, one last time.
Water. If I would be a water drop, I would know. Running down a river, floating in the ocean, I would have seen every factory, every production road. I would have gone up into the skies. I would have gathered. I would have gone down to earth in thunder and storm. I would have been soaked by roots into every plant, every tree, drunk and zipped, eaten by every animal, every creature. Running through the throats, bellies and stomachs, kidneys and bladders, turned and filled with all kinds of minerals, flavors, tastes, moods, lost in the grounds. The deeps of the earth, running through every layer, into every crack, transforming myself, only to come back to the surface, to your attention, as a refreshing drop on your skin, on your lips, on your tongue. Water, water, if I would be the water, if I would be a water drop, I would know, I would know. Running down a river, running down floating a river, in the ocean, floating in the ocean, I would have seen every factory, I would have seen every factory, every production road. I would have gone up into the skies, gone up into the skies. I would have gathered, I would have gathered, I would have gone down to, I would have gone down to earth in thunder and storm. I would have been soaked, I would have been soaked by roots into every plant, every plant, every tree and zipped, eaten by every animal, by every creature, every creature. Running through the throat, running through bellies and stomachs, kidneys and bladders, kidneys turned bladders with all kinds of with all kinds of tastes, flavors, tastes, lost in the grounds, lost in the grounds. The deeps of the earth, the deeps of the earth, running through every layer, into every crack, into every transforming myself, only to come back, to the surface, to your attention, as a refreshing drop, on your skin, on your lips, on your tongue,
After you left,
I stood on the porch staring out, a thick darkness slowly forming above the lake. The curve of the shore, whose intricacies I had traced only minutes earlier. The woods, with a face full of expressions that had held my gaze the long afternoon. Like your presence, these friends slowly extinguishing. Long shot. Fade to black. Heavy and full, I breathed in, willing my eyes to hold on to things, and in that instant, a tiny orange light, like a single ash blown from the fire, pierced the dense night. I blinked. It winked. Then again, and then another, and another, and another. I began to count. I lost count. They came like the small, bright miracles of thought that flash through each and every one of you. They were my first fireflies. Children here run out into the garden to catch them in jam jars. The field guide says they are the product of excess oxygen, stimulated, if the theorists are correct, by the need to reproduce. The light you give cannot be caught in a jam jar or put down to procreation, but it will cause wonder. It will ignite change. Where I come from, there are no fireflies. Send me your words. Send me your flame.
I fix computers, and I pick mushrooms. Most of the time, at the same time, I write emails in Ohm and ruins, touch their textures in the stones, forward them on to oblivion. As machines hum and machines purr, melding with the mycelium, melting into the network. I'm on the nodes, I'm on the stars. As the forest shifts, it makes the mind drift. As here lives the wilderness, the green man. He's a ragdoll, a scarecrow. He's made from foliage, oak leaf, facial hair, beech, bark skin, yew tree belly, hands of ivy. I says, "Have you seen any mushrooms here? I'm obsessed." He replies, "When are you ever going to fit into modern society?" In the lawn break, I tell him, from the brambos, acabos and fungi. Others could give you stardust, a cosmic forest in the palm of your hands, brief or forever. Yet I am trying. I have no idea what I'm doing. There's no gravity to this game. It's cold. Sometimes I don't want to swim with the tide. I just want to sink into your breast and cry. Feel like the luckiest star, that I found harmony in one significant other. A mirror of intimacy, transaction. It seems it's reality to others, their ecstasy, that they are right, and I dwell in dreams. So sorry I couldn't give you a forest. You're better off. I'm so clouded, I'll stop swimming. Leaving the green man, idle in stone, I go back to what I was doing. Fixing computers, picking mushrooms.
Rising early out of bed, across the fields I steer it all. And I, a woman I spied, a pretty fair maid appear at all. Her head was bare, I do declare, she had neither hat nor feather on. And she stooped so low, you need to know, it was mushroom she was gathering all, oh gathering all. And she stooped so low, you need to know, it was mushroom she was gathering all.
In and in and me always in white blue, out lower drift clouds, all wind feathered, light, bright, and we up on, up in air. Dance, swoop, look and see, we are searching for gumnut, piney nut, banksy nut, but WHY-EELA, we too much travel along. And loss of spring, too much here, there, and too throwing of a too hot road, dark roof tile. WHY-EELA, WHY-EELA. We last to know of tree fell, land clear. In and in, slow cry, to ground, to weed, sad quill, song wail line, and me, WHY-EELA, WHY-EELA. Me, take one, just one more fly.
El error de mirar al sol a quemarropa. En el eclipse, aunque parcial.
Osar fotografiarlo como hablar sin filtro.
Osar fotografiarlo.
Aunque parcial.
El sol siempre a espaldas del fotógrafo. El sol arruinando la foto.
Y el encuadre en la pantalla.
El sol. Siempre espaldas.
El error de olvidar la sombra del sol.
Hebras que se cuelan en la aurora o el atardecer.
O el atardecer. La sombra de los amantes huele a revol.
El error de finalizar el poema con un sol. Encandilar al lector como un huevo bajo la luz artificial de incubadoras.
Bajo la luz artificial de incubadoras.
En el eclipse.
First, for 9 months, I was floating inside. When outside, my mother sang, in her native Hungarian.
Pusz, kicsim, pusz. Pusz.
Swim, my wee one, swim. Underwater, the glottis closes, stopping any attempt to breathe. Edges blurred, sounds muffled. Immersing. Turn onto your back. Breathe. Turn over. Go under. Swim on. Head up. Find the wave. Take a breath and move on top. Slide onto the surface and enjoy your strength. All you do is move, glide, surf, and harmonize your movements with the waves. 60% of your body is liquid. Blood is the driving force. Then the coaches come and formulate your movements. In the front crawl, you dart on the surface. The back crawl is majestic. The breaststroke is a caress. But the butterfly is your favorite. You fly. The under-over and the inside-outside are in perfect harmony. Your body itself is a wave. Competing is not important, more of a side effect. If people want to count the seconds, let them. The coaches pass you on from hand to hand. You are a promise, and they plant the seed of a dream. And you too want to represent your country at the Olympics.
Then, children of Earth Island, listen to the word. Listen then, children of Earth Island, listen to the word. For we are going to the center of Earth, where 0 degree latitude meets 0 degree longitude. Null. In that place, there is a soul boy floating. That place does not exist, but computers think we live there. It begins on the shores of the Corley Lagoon, where the Oda River splits in two in the center of the city of Accra, Ghana, West Africa. A young man without arm or leg is folded into an imagination-powered bicycle, and he rolled down Abasoye Okai Street from where Agba Blosha used to be. The electronic waste scrapyard where all our old data is recycled on tropical gray dust that fresh rust every day with such intensity. Imagination-powered man move along the western edge of Macaulay Market past his sister sharp in electric blue Ankara mermaid silhouette. She carrying 10-pound of shea butter firewood on top the head like it's nothing but the source of all beauty and hard drive every day with such intensity. Every day with such intensity. Heat is in the marrow here. Local folk barely break a sweat. Only diasporic bodies at the door of return of no return sweat all the middle passage we got. Wear an American cotton picking dress on a walk 4 degrees north of equator every day with such intensity. The sun could power all the machines we could ever throw at her. Or devour them turned on like a member of the family to whom we throw garbage without ever wanting to throw garbage every day with such intensity. Imagination-powered brother head down to Jamestown past the lighthouse, down the ramp into the Gob fishing village. Now we on the shores of the Gulf where cousins stare and smile when they see your light skin and shoes come in. Running islands of color and joy on sand blackened from grilling fire and burnt out tire every day with such intensity. Every day with such intensity. We at the shoreline now with the bright rainbow, narrow tamarind pod, fishing boats lined up tight together with bows pointed up, cupped like hands. Fishermen sitting quiet, mending piles of seafoam net and asking for alms from the daughter of return every day with such intensity. Even a king from Ethiopia up at the rising phoenix who shared his herb refused to believe that I'd been married so long and didn't have children. He said, in Africa, even if you do not have children, you say that you have children every day with such intensity. Oh, children of Africa, rest easy, walk easy, we love you, and we are happy to see you. We are ancestors to each other. This land is yours. Just wear live color when you're off continent so we can see you from here and know that you are not lost at sea like so many before every day with such intensity. The whole African continent vibrates like a central nervous system CPU. It cold push you out to swim into rough sea where 0 degree meets 0 degree Guinea, Ghana. Out here on the soul, boy, data may go to die, but be resurrected in Africa next day, every day with such intensity.